So today we're exposing Mohammed Hijab, not in the bad sense or the sense that you might be typically used to, but inshallah in the good sense, we're exposing a good deed. Inshallah, I'm thinking actually about making this a series about exposing various Muslims, public figures, about public things that they have done, just to basically try to reach a new audience, inshallah ta'ala. And so again, it'll be about exposing good deeds, public deeds, of course, so that we are encouraged, inshallah, to get involved in dawah or just spreading khair. So let's watch the video.
He says there's 1.3 billion Muslims. Let's take a look. He says there's 1.3 billion Muslims, and how many Muslims won the Nobel Prize? And he says he calls this the best measure.
There is 1.3 billion Muslims in the...
Okay, so basically what Mohammed Hijab is doing, just to give you guys some background on this video, he's responding to a scientist and academic by the name of Neal deGrasse Tyson. And Neal deGrasse Tyson is no doubt someone who has credentials. He's done some achieved, definitely has made some achievements in his life and contributions. However, a lot of scientists will tell you, that with science, obviously, there's a lot of sales and marketing right behind it. And so if you're not a good speaker, but you have amazing research, you might be able to publish a book, but you might not be on TV, right? And I think that's pretty much common sense. So Neal deGrasse Tyson has these soft skills or public speaking skills, which is great. But unfortunately, on the academic side, I don't know if he's that thorough. The video is about 20 minutes long, and I encourage you guys to check it out. Essentially, what Neal deGrasse Tyson is saying here is that he's using the Nobel Prize as a metric, essentially, to show that Muslims are not prevalent, even though he didn't really mention Muhammad Yunus or the fact that there have been concrete studies done on how there are biases, Western biases in the Nobel Prize committee. But anyways, let's just watch the video.
World today who are not participants on the frontier of scientific discovery. What's the best measure of this? Just check out the Nobel Prizes. I tallied them. Okay? How many Jews have won the Nobel Prize? In the sciences, here they go.
There is nothing more relaxing than sitting in my favorite spot on the couch and playing some Candy Crush Saga.
Okay, I'm obviously seeing an ad here.
Is there no
That was
one
not planned.
worthy of
How do I skip
challenging
this
me?
thing? Video will play after.
More
Oh,
than
man.
just
The best measure. Wait a minute. So the argument here is that something inherently in Islam, because of Al-Ghazali. So, in other words, every Muslim now is influenced by Al-Ghazali's thought, even the Shi'is or even the Hanabila, who are not influenced by him, or other madhahib or other people. Everyone's influenced by Al-Ghazali, and Al-Ghazali has influenced them to drop science and technology and mathematics. And so everyone, because they needed Al-Ghazali to tell them that, everyone dropped science and technology, even though Samarkand, which had one of the biggest and most influential... Well, okay, let me ask you a question. How many black people have won Nobel Prizes? Let me ask you a question. How many black people? Now, if I say that to you and you say, well, that's because of poverty and slavery and all of those things and colonialism, okay, all of those excuses can be afforded to the Muslim world, much of which have been colonized, especially after the Ottoman fall. So disenfranchisement and poverty and all those things, and you can make the same excuses. And then he compares us with Jewish people, which is a false comparison. I don't know why he does that, because obviously, and the Nobel Prize, let's be honest, the Nobel Prize, and this just shows me how much of an Uncle Tom you are, with all due respect. Yes, because you respect the white man so much that when the white man and his institutions, they decide who wins the Nobel Prize, because it's obviously ideologically linked, right? It's to the Western post-Enlightenment experience. They decide who wins Nobel Prizes. You think that's somehow a measure of objective scientific discovery and enterprise and so on? And that's why you could never, ever debate a Muslim who knows just a little bit of Islam and a little bit of history. You would never step forward and put yourself, your neck on the academic chopping board, because you know what would happen. What would happen is the people would see.
So guys, this is a pretty long video. It's a little bit detailed, but honestly, it's a solid video, and it could have been much longer, because if you like I said, there's a really good article you guys should check out by The Guardian. There's another one by The Atlantic that critique the Nobel Prize process. Some of you might know that Obama won the Nobel quote-unquote Peace Prize, in 2009, I believe it was. And there was a lot of criticism about that, especially given the fact that he had a global, I don't know if it was at that time. I think, yeah, it was very in the beginning of his presidency where he hadn't even achieved anything. And then a few years later, obviously, he launched a global drone campaign, essentially, which murdered thousands of people. It just goes to show, and you can just search up this controversies around the Nobel Peace Prize or Nobel Prize. Again, I know that's Obama's was the Peace Prize, but within the scientific community, if you're talking about the chemistry or the economics prize, Nobel Prize, there's a lot of controversies surrounding those as well too. So it's not a good metric, and that should be blatant to everybody. And the video again is fantastic. Actually, I do recommend watching it from beginning to end. Inshallah ta'ala, guys, we'll be back with another video soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.